Good. Sometime soon after God stopped walking the earth, my ancestors settled in southern Lithuania. In the centuries that followed, the borders were built. They shifted, fluctuated, oscillated depending on the phases of moon. In Moscow, Warsaw, London, Vienna, or Berlin, borders got relocated and redrawn, first splitting our land between different countries and finally stripping us of it altogether. Enthusiastic newcomers leveled the old house, cut down apple trees, pine saplings got planted into this empty space, and now 80 years later, there is no trace left of people having ever lived there. Some say that until recently, you could see remains of the well that stood by the house. And based on the position of that well, you could orientate yourself. You could imagine the house, the garden, the orchard. Our land continued south from the house towards the old Warsaw-St. Petersburg Railway, and then across it. The forest behind the railway now belongs to Belarus. Until the war in Ukraine, that border was poorly maintained. In parts, only one line of barbed wire existed. We could walk through the Lithuanian side across the plowed sand with 2 border posts right to the second row of barbed wire. There were never any other footprints. And one day, we pissed into Belarus. Not me personally, because I lacked the anatomy to piss across the border. Yet I felt very much connected to that piss. It's my ancestral land after all. And then, like children, we laughed at our tiny act of transgression. Blues. Blue, like light, lucidity, lunacy. Blunka, like blank, blonde, blush, blosos, blancus, pale light in a glass of milk. Blancus, faint fog through dragonfly wings. Blusa, pulses, sound, soul, soothe, soon, moon, blue moon. Blur, blue, kiss. Blue Nile, blue, blusa, blush. Verses. Verse, reverse, averse, verse, immerse, universe, a blessing and a curse. Verso, versme, versalis, 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 versia, version, immersion, eversion, traversing, reverse on the other side. Nothing. Noras, norm, normality. Nieko, niente, gradually fades to nothing. Nebuvo, nebuvo, nebulous, nebulous is the truth. Standing small with a bunch of forget-me-nots against the wall of thy Lord. Nebuvo. Nieko, niente, gradually fades to nothing. Midsummer, today, solstice. So earlier this morning, at about 4:15, when the sun was rising, Midsummer waltzed into...
GPS signal lost.
Midsummer waltzed in and landed at the table, spreading out in wildflower crinolines. Midsummer shook its unruly sun-drenched curls, setting up its own champagne picnic, and looked up at me. Wine cooler? I asked. Mesmerized by the glowing light through the cloud of Midsummer's hair. Wine cooler? I repeat. Crystal champagne flutes appear on the table, followed by bubbles and strings of wild strawberries. I remember when Lent sat here for 40 days and 40 nights, sulking, preaching me about contemplation and renewal. I know Midsummer won't preach. It will waltz away before I decide what to say next. So I say, Have you watched the news lately? Have you? Midsummer drops the illuminated cloud of curls back and shakes it. Who cares about the news in the middle of a blooming summer? Midsummer laughs. I laugh too, not because it's funny, but because. Thank you.